Why, hello. I didn't see you there. We're back in Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty, and it's been a minute since I've been on the show. Been letting Seth have his fun, but made me want to get back in there, and boy oh boy, do I have a treat for you with what we drafted. We drafted a lot of rares, and a few of them made it into the final cut. The two big rares we have are Explosive Singularity. This is 8 red, that's right, a 10 mana sorcery. But as an additional cost, you can tap untapped creatures to make it cost 1 less, so it has Convoke. It does 10 damage to any target, so this can win a game out of absolute nowhere. We have other big targets too. We've got Invoke Calamity, 1 red, an instant. You may cast up to 2 instants and or sorceries with a total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard without paying their mana costs. So, hard to cast, but very rewarding if we can cast it. And as our remaining target for this sort of rampy style deck, we have Colossal Sky Turtle. That's right, we're Teamer. 4 green, blue for a 6/5 flying ward 2 that has 2 different channels, one that returns a card from your graveyard to hand, and one that bounces a creature. So it's a good late game ramp target, but it's also good early for interaction, in case we're trying to build to something else. To enable this, to get to our big payoffs, we have 3 copies of Behold the Unspeakable, one of, if not the, best saga in the set. We got past 3 copies, believe it or not. As Chapter 1, creatures you don't control get -2/-0. Chapter 2, generally scry 2 and draw 2, though you can draw 4 cards if you've burned through your hand. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, actually. People always have cards in hand in this format. And then it turns into an XX Flying Trample, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So we've got these big, expensive spells we're trying to get to. And to ramp into them, we have Network Terminal as an artifact, Grafted Growth, an enchantment that helps your land produce more mana, 2 Careful Cultivations that can either enchant a creature to make them tap for mana, or just get channeled into an elf. So we've got lots of good stuff there. And then for removal, we've got 2 Kami's Flare, a Twin-Shot Sniper, and then honestly, the big weakness of this deck is that our creatures are pretty pathetic. So we're just trying to interrupt our opponent's plans until we can cast one of our big spells. And don't know how this is going to go, but I am very excited to find out. Join me in game 1, please. Alright, we're going first. We have a Network Terminal for ramp, a Moonfolk Puzzle Maker, a 1/4 flyer to hold down the fort, and a Kami's Flare. The big downside of this hand is there's no red in it yet, and we do have Invoke Calamity, but I believe in God. So, surely we won't get punished for this hand, right? Okay, we're both keeping 7. I'll play a Thornwood Falls and gain a life. Just like that, we're ahead of the game. Opponent goes Plains. Hot Shot Mechanic, 2/1. That can do really good work powering vehicles. I don't mind that. So we're going to get smacked for 2 at least here. They play a Forest. I guess the worst case is they play some cool vehicle and then pilot it with their Hotshot Mechanic. They don't. They play a Papercraft Decoy. 2 mana, 2/1. When it leaves the battlefield, they can pay 2 to draw a card. We drew a Behold, which is good, but we haven't hit another land yet, which is a bit disconcerting. So we're going to play a Puzzle Maker to stop their beatdowns. It's 19-20 right now. So they have 2 2/1s and we have a 1/4. I can see them just attacking with the Papercraft Decoy to try to cash it in for a card. No, they cast Fade into Antiquity, killing our 1/4. And they smack us for 4, taking us to 15. We did draw a land, that's good. I think... Do we want a Kami's Flare right now? No, I think we're going to Network Terminal. So if we Kami's Flared, it would save us 2 damage. But I really want to cast this Behold the Unspeakable next turn. They play Befriending the Mods, so... I mean, they're definitely smacking us something fierce here. It's 11-20 now. But now we get to Behold the Unspeakable. Phase 1, their creatures get -2, -0. So they're going to be able to hit us for 1 damage here. Assuming they don't have anything else of interest. They cast an Air of Enlightenment. They're just on the Good Sagas plan, which I have had the most success with. So they're scrying 2 this turn with the Air of Enlightenment. Next turn they'll gain 2 life, and eventually they'll get a 2/2 first striker. Not bad. And they're going to hit us for 1. It's 10 to 20. Okay, now we get to scry. We found a land on top and a Modern Age. I don't really want the Modern Age, to be honest. I don't think. So we'll draw some more lands. We got another Behold the Unspeakable. And I honestly don't really see a reason not to just cast another one. Yeah, I mean, why not? That's intimidating. Staring down 2 Behold the Unspeakables. So they get their 2/4 Moth, but it can't attack this turn. Oh, opponent plays a Swamp, so they're 3 color as well. But we have played 2 dual lands and they've played none. I don't care if our deck is good, especially. I think it's sweet. They play the Long Reach of Night. Okay. So they're going to make us... each opponent sacrifice a creature unless they discard a card. Oh, I can decline. I'd like to decline, please. Okay. So we get our flyer, and it is a big boy. On top we have a Twin Shot Sniper and an Island. I mean, I love that. We have an 8/8 flyer now? I mean, my god. So we play a land. We've got 6 available. So we could play a Twin Shot Sniper, killing one of their creatures, and a Fade into Antiquity. I mean, heck yes. Let's go ahead and play the Twin Shot, killing their Papercraft Decoy. And then we can... What do we want to kill with our Fade into Antiquity? Their Long Reach of Night is going to make us sacrifice another creature on this turn, which I don't really want to do. So I think I'm going to kill it for that reason. Fade the Long Reach of Night. And now they get their 2/2 Hand of Enlightenment first striker. But things aren't looking super good for the opponent. I mean, they're looking at our 5/5 flyer and can't really do much about it. We're about to get another one. Okay, they play a Befriending the Mods. That, again, doesn't really do much for them. Gives +1/+1 and flying to something, but our 5/5 Vision of the Unspeakable is really owning the battlefield right now. In hand, we have a Kami's Flare, a Suit Up, an Invoke Calamity waiting in the wings eventually. We get our Vision of the Unspeakable. It's time to start attacking with our Vision of the Unspeakable. They take it. It's 10 to 16. Now we can play a land. Play a Sky Swimmer Koi. A 3/3 flyer. Then from here, do we want to Grafted Growth? Or do we want to keep a Suit Up? Kind of want to keep a Suit Up. We're really not under pressure right now. Okay, they're giving +1/+1 and flying to their Hand of Enlightenment, which is fine by me. I kind of hope they attack, because we would happily block it, and then they have another Air of Enlightenment. They're just on the mono White Saga plan. That's fine. They keep 2 on top. That's a little disconcerting. They play Malicious Malfunction. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Which is going to do nothing. Just kills one of their creatures. Why did they do that? That was a big oopsie from them. And now we can actually Kami's Flare and kill their only flyer. Okay. That was a big whoopsie from them. Okay, we've got a land. We can smash in the air for a total of 11 this turn if we wanted. But I think I'm just gonna attack. I mean, yeah, we will do that actually. Why am I saying that like maybe I don't want to? It's now 10 to 5. We can play a land, play a Grafted Growth. We get a 1/1 counter on a creature we control. Let's put it on our Twin Shot Sniper, because it's a good defender. And if we wanted to, we could invoke Calamity, which would let us kill the Hand of Enlightenment and take out their Befriending the Moths. I really don't see a reason to do that, though. It's good to have in our back pocket, but the fact is, when we cast Invoke Calamity, we will get to recast Fade into Antiquity. We can kill any one of their transformed enchantment creatures. Okay, so they gain some life from their Heir of Enlightenment, so it's 10-7. Can also, at end of turn, depending on what they do, we can activate our Network Terminal's other ability. They play Bamboo Grove Archer, 3/3 Defender Reach. That's good. It's good for them to have. Go ahead and resolve that. Go to attackers. I mean, what are they going to attack with? They have no cards in hand. I feel like we can win from here. Let's go ahead and activate our Network Terminal. Draw a card and discard a card. We drew a Behold the Unspeakable. I mean, my goodness. On our turn, we'll be able to attack for bunch. Is it enough to kill? Let's get rid of this Suit Up. It's our turn now. Got Careful Cultivation. We have 2 3/3 flyers. No, we have 3 3/3 flyers right now. If we cast Behold the Unspeakable, their creatures lose a ton of power on board. And we could just attack fully. They have to just block and lose a lot of their creatures. That sounds great to me. But not quite, huh? A total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. If we invoke Calamity, we can Suit Up and Kami's Flare, or Suit Up, or Kami's Flare and Fade into Antiquity, killing 2 of their creatures, and kill them. Or get very close. Alright, we're just going to do that. Alright, invoke Calamity. Let's cast Kami's Flare, killing their Grove Archer, and let's cast a Suit Up on a Vision of the Unspeakable. So let's just draw an extra card. They're at 5, and now we can just attack with everything, and they die. Yeah. And they die. Ooh, baby. Now that was a sweet one. I mean, I guess just casting multiple Behold the Unspeakables is a good way to win this format. A strong start for sure. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going in Game 2 after the break. Sometimes, winning a game isn't about dealing the most damage, or drawing the most cards, or making any measurable contribution towards victory. But hey, just because you don't have the stats doesn't mean you're not a f***ing gamer god, alright? Enter The Intangibles, a podcast on the Geekspective Network, where me, Kenny, and my brother Matt break down all the things that are hard to quantify in games. All kinds of games. We're talking classics like Sonic's the Hedgehogs, and chess, and 3D Pinball Space Cadet. Great game, by the way. We're talking new releases like
insert latest trending games on Twitch here.
Single player, co-op, competitive, card games, board games, role-playing games, play-by-mail games, the Wakes. We do deep dives into our favorite games, digging into the intangibles that make them great and the intangibles that will make you a better player, and hey, maybe even a better person. Check out the intangibles on whatever the heck platform you're listening to right now. Game number 2. Opening hand. Once again, we have Invoke Calamity in the opening hand, which I don't love. And we also have a Grafted Growth. That's it. And then a bunch of lands. Funnily enough, we do have the mana in hand to cast Invoke Calamity, but we have nothing that it could actually cast from our graveyard and no other plays. So I think this has to be a mulligan. Hand number 2 looks a lot better. This time, again, has Invoke with no red mana, but that's fine because we have Moonfolk Puzzlemaker and double Behold the Unspeakable, so we're going to keep that and ditch this Invoke Calamity because we're a million miles from casting it. Play a Forest and pass. Opponent plays Swamp and passes. We draw Explosive Singularity. Well, we've got the late game cinched up, I guess. Just gotta get to 10 mana. They play a rare of their own, Tribute to Hirobi. So that gives us a rat this turn and next turn. And then on their turn, they get a 3/3 flying haste. They gain control of these rats, and whenever it attacks, they can sack a creature, draw a card. It's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Put some rats out there while we can. Play our Puzzle Maker. They play a Commune with Spirits. 1 green mana, look at the top 4. Reveal an enchantment or land and put it in your hand. And they found a Twisted Embrace. Wow, that's pretty unfortunate. Well, get to attack with our creatures, and then we have a Suit Up. I do like Suit Up, but we're about to lose both of these rats, and then they're going to Twist Embrace and kill our Puzzle Maker. So this card won't do anything at that point. Until much later, anyway. I don't think it does enough, so we're going to scry it to the bottom. Hit them for 3, so it's 20 to 16. Now they have Echo of Death's Wail. So they can attack us for 3 this turn if they so desire. They do. They do sacrifice a rat and draw a card. Pretty good. Pretty good. I really wouldn't mind having a Kami's Flare. We're similar right now. Or Fade into Antiquity. Or, just any removal spell, really. Opponent is in the tank. Are they... Okay, I thought they were thinking of casting Twist Embrace, but no, a different saga. They cast Besieger Reaches Skyward. This is a card I really wish I had in this deck. This is a saga. Phase 1, you get 2 forests. Phase 2, you put a land card from your graveyard on top of your library. And Phase 3, it turns into an XX Reach, where that's the lands you control. Pretty freaking good. We could leave our Moonfolk Puzzlemaker back to block, but they're just going to Twist and Embrace it. I'd rather just attack and scry with it. A Sky Swimmer Koi. No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Because what we're going to do this turn is channel. I guess we can wait on the channel, can't we? Yeah, we're going to do that. We have a Careful Cultivation. We can channel into a 1/1 mana dork, so let's do that, shall we? They've got a lot of cards in hand. They still have their Echo of Death's Wail doing disgusting things. For now, they look to be just attacking us for 4. Just 3, because they're sacrificing their other rat. So they get yet another card. On the plus side, over the next 2 turns, we have the chance to cast back-to-back Behold the Unspeakable. They cast Virus Beetle. That's pretty good. So I think what we're going to do, they're going to make us discard. We're going to discard our Careful Cultivation. Probably the right move is actually discarding this Explosive Singularity, but I kind of view that as our best way to win the game at this point. So let's play a land. Let's attack with our Puzzle Maker. A Twin Shot Sniper. Don't mind that. We'll leave that on top. It's 15 to 14, and now we can Behold the Unspeakable, shrinking their creatures for a turn. They now have a Branch of Boseiju, which is a 5/5 reach. Pretty big. That card is so good. It would have been perfect for this deck. Basically a double ramp to make sure you hit your land drops. Doesn't actually ramp, you just hits your land drops. And then just turns into a giant creature to hold down the fort. would have been an absolute slam dunk perfect pick, but it is an uncommon. Opponent attacks us yet again, sacrifice their Virus Beetle, no surprise there. Drawing a card, it's 14 all. They play another Virus Beetle, so we have to discard another card. Do we discard a Behold the Unspeakable or Explosive Singularity? I don't like discarding Explosive, because like I said, I think it's our best route to victory, but we're very far away from casting it. And I think the second copy of Behold is a better route to victory if we're going to find it. Okay, we got 2 lands. Let's go ahead and play one. I think we just cast another Behold. Again, shrinking their creatures. Pass to them. We have a twin shot in hand, which we could channel to do 2 damage, but I don't see that as being very likely. What we could do, actually, I'm going to put a stop on their turn. Because if we channel the Twin Shot Sniper on their turn, it does let us just straight up draw 4 cards off of our second copy of Behold the Unspeakable. If you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, they get Tales of Master Shishiro. So they're going to get 2 1/1 counters over a couple turns. What are they going to put it on, though? The Branch of Beseiju. I guess it gives it Vigilance, so that's nice. Some good of attackers. They're attacking with the Echo of Death's Wail, so I think we're going to have our opportunity here to block and kill the Death's Wail after it's drawn them like 5 cards. So 8-14, took a big hit from the Branch of Beseiju. But now we get to channel, kill the Death's Wail. Oh man, what if they have that return to action or whatever that card is called? They don't. Instead they have Reckoner's Bargain. So it lets them sacrifice it. They gain life equal to its mana value, which was 0, but they draw 2 cards. Okay. 2 more lands up top, yeah. The time for drawing lots of extra lands has passed, unfortunately. And now we've drawn a Sky Turtle, which we have enough mana to cast, but at this point they have an 8/8 Branch of Beseiju, so it's not that interesting. I mean, we have to cast it anyway. I mean, they get their second Tales of Master Shishiro, which I have to assume is going to go on its Branch of Beseiju again, just to give it vigilance for the turn. Nope, going on Fang of Shigeki. It's a weird choice. So now it's a 2/2 Death Touch instead of a 1/1 Death Touch. If I were them, I would cast their Twisted Embrace finally and kill our Colossal Sky Turtle. And that would basically force us to lose 2 creatures this turn. If they do that, I'll probably scoop, because there's nothing we could draw to get us out of this. It should be noted they have 8 cards in hand. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. I assume gonna kill the Sky Turtle and pay the ward cost? Yep, I'm gonna call that game right there. Good game. We lost to the Echo of Death's Wail, the 3/3 Flying Haste that just drew them a bunch of cards. All's fair. We have plenty of rares too, don't we? Alright, 1-1. We'll see you in game number 3. Game number 3, opponent goes first. We get our first nice looking hand here, I would say. A land of each color, Kamigawa for disruption, Careful Cultivation for ramp, a suit up, a Papercraft decoy. This all looks good. They start with a plains. Drew a network terminal, don't hate that. We'll lead with a mountain just to make them sweat, make them think we have a Volt Surge. They have a tapped land. They are Orzhov so far. Very cool. We're not really ramping in anything, so I don't want to run out the Careful Cultivation channel into some removal spell. Although they're black-white. What removal spell are they going to have? There's no need. We're just going to go with the Papercraft Decoy. We don't have anything in hand that we're ramping into at the moment, so not going to sweat it. They go Air of Enlightenment. Perfect. Not perfect as in I love playing against that card. I think it's very good. But they're not pressuring us. They missed a land drop, and they scryed and kept one on top, so they just kept a land on top. Perfect. So now we can smack them for 2. It's 20 to 19, and we could cast a Careful Cultivation on a land? No. No, we could put it on our creature. No, we don't want to do that. What am I talking about? I think we're going to Network Terminal. So next turn we have 5 mana available. Opponent gain 2 life of their Era Enlightenments, 20 to 21, and they play Imperial Subduer. So this is a 3-2. When a samurai or warrior they control attacks alone, they tap a creature they don't control. Pretty good, pretty good. We got a Behold the Unspeakable. I think we just run it out. Yeah, I mean, the sooner we get this going, the better. Shrink their creature. I'm very willing to just attack them with my Papercraft Decoy. If they want to trade their 3-drop for our 2-drop, they can have at it. They do not. It's 20 to 19. Okay, their Era turns into the Hand of Enlightenment, so they got a 2-2 first striker now. And we're playing for the late game here. We'll see what they've got going. Okay, what they have going is a Blade Blesser. Then they pass to us. It's 19 all. Our Behold goes off. We have another land and a Grafted Growth. We drew a Sky Turtle, so we do actually want some more ramp. I like both these. I'll draw both of them. Okay, so now go land. We've got a total of 6 mana available this turn. So what we could do is carefully cultivate and then keep a suit up available. We also have a Kami's Flare. Lots to think about here. I think we're going to Grafted Growth on a mountain. And then we've got enough mana for a Kami's Flare. And we can channel a Careful Cultivation at the end of their turn. Whew. Could also suit up if they choose to attack us with everything. They're just going to go for a Lucky Offering. This actually suits me fine. So it's going to destroy this thing. Which then we can pay 2 to draw a card. Got a Modern Age, don't mind that. They go to attack. We can then Kami's Flare, the Blade Blesser. We're still going to take 5 here. It's 14 to 22. But then it's our turn. Behold the Unspeakable becomes Vision of the Unspeakable. So we've got a 6/6 flyer now. Play a land. We have enough for the Sky Turtle as well. Is there a reason not to go for it? I suppose we could get the Modern Age going. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Maybe it seems silly not to just play the Sky Turtle when we have the chance. But we have bigger fish to fry here. Put another stop on their turn. And we can just pass it to them. Now we've got a Careful Cultivation plus a suit up. In the meantime, we have a 4/4 flyer just holding things down. They play Kaido's Pursuit. Target player discards 2 cards. Ninjas and rogues they control gain menace. Making us discard, huh? Okay. Discard 2 cards. We'll lose our Cyber Trespassers and a suit up. Or do we want to lose a Careful Cultivation? Yes, we'll lose the Careful Cultivation. Because then this lets us channel Cyber Trespassers and tap their creatures. it's our turn. Okay. Now we have to discard a card. Guess we'll discard a Careful Cultivation. Play a land. Gain a life. Play our Colossal Sky Turtle. Now what's the opponent going to do? We're kind of out of action now. They play a Moth Rider Patrol. That's not a bad answer. They're strapped for mana, so they're not going to be able to tap down our Sky Turtle very effectively. But that is something. So they went for an Intercessor's Arrest on the Sky Turtle. I guess not knowing that it has the ward, so just counter their Intercessor's Arrest. Surely unfortunate for the opponent. We're going to smash them with our Sky Turtle. And then we're going to post-combat play a Sky Swimmer Koi. So we have quite the force in the air. It's 15 to 16. They have a 3-2 that can tap if it attacks alone. A 2-2 first strike, the 1-1 Moth Rider Patrol, and they just played a Blade Blizzard Kitsune. 2-2 double strike. Not bad. They attack with their 2-2 first striker, the Hand of Enlightenment. They have 1 mana up for a combat trick. Yeah, it's going to be no blocks for us. Our opponents may not respect combat tricks, but in this house we do. Okay, so it's 13 to 16. They could crack us back next turn for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think, though, we're just going to go ahead and attack with our Sky Turtle again. Oh, man. So they let it through, so they're at 10. So we are super set up if we draw our Mythic Rare 10 damage sorcery. I really want to. Oh, but they played a Scoured Baron, so now they're at 11. Damn it. They're attacking with their 1-1 Moth Rider Patrol and their 2-2 Hand of Enlightenment. I mean, I hope they do. If they do and they don't have a flyer, they're just dead. They're attacking with everything. So this will be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. So if they have a combat trick, we probably die, because I'll put it on the Blade Blizzard Kitsune. They haven't committed to this attack. Okay, they just committed to the attack. I think we block the Blade Blizzard with our Vector Glider and the Moth Rider with our Sky Swimmer. And then we see what kind of kooky combat trick they're rocking. If they have one, I assume they'll use it on the Blade Blizzard to save it. They have 4 mana available, so there's all kinds of stuff they could do right now. Return to action. So their Blade Blizzard gets +1/+0 lifelink, and when it dies, return to the battlefield. It's not going to die, though. And then they have a Wanderer's Intervention. Okay, so they're at 14. We're at 8. But they are straight up out of cards now. We drew Invoke Calamity, which would let us cast what exactly? A Kami's Flare and a Suit Up? Is that it? Yeah, Kami's Flare and a Suit Up. I guess we just passed to them. So they got a land, so now they have enough that they can tap and pay the ward for Colossal Sky Turtle. They don't seem to realize that. They're just attacking with everything. Well, and they don't have anything else. So we can Invoke Calamity, cast Suit Up, put it on our Sky Turtle, because why not? And then do 3 damage to what exactly? The Moth Rider Patrol? Yeah, because otherwise we'll just die to it. We drew a Twin Shot Sniper, so we could also... Oh, we can't do it this turn. No, we do still have mana. But we probably just want to keep it. So we go to blockers. We'll block with the Sky Turtle on the Blade Blizzard. So we're at 3 and they're at 14. They lost a lot of stuff there. Now it's our turn. Fade into Antiquity helps. So we're going to go for a Twin Shot Sniper cast, doing 2 damage to their Imperial Subduer. And then a Fade into Antiquity on their Hand of Enlightenment. And then we're going to hit them for 6 with our Sky Turtle. And now we basically need them to whiff on their turn. I mean, we're not dead, probably, even if they get something good. They got Kami of Terrible Secrets. When it enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact or enchantment, draw a card and gain a life. They don't. So it's a 3/4. Okay, it's our turn. We drew a mountain. Well, we're going to attack with our Sky Turtle. Putting them to 2, we're at 3. And pass and pray, because if they have a removal spell, we're just dead. If they don't, then they're probably just dead. Close game, either way. They're not slamming it, so I have to assume it's not game ending. Sunblade Samurai, 4/4 Vigilance. That will not do it. And that lets us know the game is just over. They attack with their 3/4. I guess praying we misclick. We're not going to. And we attack with the Sky Turtle. GG. Whew, very close game. Very close. That's 2 games where casting the Invoke has worked out for us. Very nice. Alright, well, 2-1. I think I'm going to take a short break. And for you, game number 4 is right around the corner. Up 2-1 going into game number 4. Our opponent goes first. We have both Invoke Calamity and Explosive Singularity in the open, but we have Papercraft Decoy and Careful Cultivation as well. I think we're keeping. Opponent goes Plains Mothrider Patrol. We drew Twin Shot Sniper, which definitely helps, but we're going to lead off with this Thornwood Falls, gain a life, 21-20. And immediately gets smacked back down to 20 by the Mothrider, of course. Opponent is red-white playing Tawashi Songshaper. This is a 2/2. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+0. Well, that is normally pretty good, but what am I saying? Why do I say that's good? I don't care about the Songshaper. It's 2 mana 2/2. That's the best thing about it, really. It's got high upside, I suppose, if you are really the focused artifact deck. And you have removal. Ultimately, it's got 2 toughness. It makes me wonder if in some previous version of the card, it got +1/+1 when you play an artifact. Then I can imagine it being pretty decent. But maybe that was too strong. Getting hit for 1 again. 19-20. And then a Peerless Samurai, 2/3 Menace. Okay, and we got a Swiftwater Cliffs. So we'll gain another life from that land. Have our red source now. And we're going to put a stop on their turn so that we can channel a Careful Cultivation, of which we have 2 now. Michiko's Reign of Truth. This is a saga. Phases 1 and 2, a creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment they control. Just +2/+2 to the Mothrider. So we're getting hit down to 5 now. And then we'll channel the Careful Cultivation. I believe I said hit down to 5. Obviously I meant hit by 5. We're at 15. Thank God we're not hit down to 5. Ooh, a Kami's Flare. I like that. So now we can cast the Twin Shot. And that's it. That's all we can do this turn. Could also Kami's Flare and Careful Cultivation. Yeah, we're just going to pass. So they're once again going for the +1/+1 on the Mothrider, which is going to let us Kami's Flare. Well, I think we're going to actually save that and use it on the Peerless Samurai. They're attacking with 3 creatures this time. We're still going to kill that Peerless Samurai. They play Iron Hoofboar, channeling it for +3/+1 and trample. If only we had another red, I would love to twin shot and get them here. Oh well. We will channel another Careful Cultivation. And now we get to block. We'll take out the Song Shaper. With our Papercraft Decoy, we go down to 7. Now it's our turn. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. Only 1 red though, so we're going to have to twin shot snipe and take out the Moth Rider Patrol. And no attacks. Our opponent's Machiko transforms into Portrait of Machiko. Fortunately, at this point, it's just a 1/1. But that could change in an instant. Opponent is attacking with their Peerless Samurai. I think we're going to double block it. Again, they could have a combat trick, which would get us pretty good, but we're at 7. They have Kami's Flare. Yeah, that's definitely bad. And then an Ancestral. Well, we're pretty boned here. No attacks. All we have left is our Human Monk that taps for green. They have a total of 6 power on board if they want to equip. And we're at 7. They're just attacking with their Peerless Samurai. Equips the Ancestral Katana. We go down to 3. And then they play rare Fable of the Mirror Maker. Gives them a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Whenever it attacks, they get a treasure. We drew a Behold the Unspeakable, which we will play. Chapter 2 of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They can discard 2 cards to draw 2 cards. They're attacking with all. We have to block Machiko in order to not die. Go to 1. And I don't think there's anything we could draw that would get us out of the situation. They play Circuit Mender, giving them another creature, another lethal creature. We drew Fade into Antiquity. And we get to scry 2. Don't think any of this is really going to help that much, so just draw some new cards. And that's not going to be enough to save us. Good game. Pretty unfortunate. Our opponent had, I don't know how good of a draw it was. We were pretty slow on that one. But they were down to only 4 lands that entire game. They immediately hit their 3 to cast their spells, and then they only drew 1 more land after that, which is perfect for that style of deck. Good on them. Let us go to Game 5 and try to keep our hope alive. Alright, here we go. We can't avoid having our Explosive Singularity in our opening hand, can we? But we do have a Modern Age, which helps things out tremendously, so we're going to keep this. When it goes Island, we will go Swiftwater Cliffs. Once again, claiming the early 1-point life advantage. Our opponent channeled a Mnemonic Sphere, drawing a card. Channel to draw a card is very funny because it's just cycling. On their turn, they played Shigeki Jukai Visionary. 1/3, has 1 in a green, tap, return it to its owner's hand, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put a land card from them onto the battlefield tapped, and then has XX Cream channeled, return X non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, that's pretty good. It is an enchantment, so we're going to be able to get it with our Fade into Antiquity eventually. For now, we're just going to play the Modern Age, allowing us to draw and discard a card. What do we want to discard? We drew a Saiba Trespassers, and I think we're going to ditch that. It's definitely the lowest impact card we have. Opponent attacks us, they're not interested. and activating, because instead they're going to play Cloudsteel Kirin. 3/2 flying with reconfigure 5. Equip creature as flying, and you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Relax, buddy. Relax, please. So we have to discard a card again. And this time we'll be ditching an island, I think. Let's see. We could play Fade into Antiquity, killing their Shigeki. And I think that's what we're going to do before they can get any value off of it. Cloudsteel Current I don't really care about. I mean, a 3/2 flyer for 3 is good, and it is going to hit us down to 17. The reconfigure is not really that important. And we have lots of ways to kill it, including the Kami's Flare we just drew. We also have our Vector Glider, which transformed from the Modern Age, a 2/3 flyer, which can just straight up trade with the Cloudsteel Current, so not really worried about it. We could... Okay, here's what we're going to do. We've got Careful Cultivation and Kami's Flare. So we're just going to pass to them, and if they go for a reconfigure or an attack, really, we've got Kami's Flare to cinch things up. They play Ecologist Terrarium. I wonder if they're going to try to put a counter on something. I hope they try for a counter on their Cloudsteel. I would very cheerfully kill it with a Kami's Flare. That is exactly what they're doing. And die. They're attacking us with their Moonfolk Puzzle Maker, getting to scry 1. We'll block that damage, and we will channel a Careful Cultivation. Alright, very good. From there, we are going to go to attacks, attack with everything. It's tied at 17, and then we'll cast Behold the Unspeakable. The true star of this deck. Opponent attacks with their -1/4 Puzzle Maker, just so they can scry, makes sense. They play Replication Specialist. It's a 3/4 flyer. They're on the mono flying plan. And that lets them copy artifacts. We are now choosing whether we want to draw a Sky Swimmer's Koi and a Suit Up with our Behold the Unspeakable. Yeah, I mean, they're both good. Do we want to play a Sky Swimmer Koi or just save a Suit Up? I think we're going to save a Suit Up. One more land and we could have done both. We're a little shy, though. Just a little shy. I feel like one way or another we're going to get to eat a creature with our Suit Up, so... They play a Searchlight Companion. 1/1 flyer that makes a 1/1 colorless spirit. And they'll probably replicate it with their Replication Specialist. That's a lot of creatures. They're not attacking with their 3/4 Replication Specialist. I guess they just see that as too key to their victory. Well, we're going to block and kill it, because I'm sick of this thing. And then we're going to Suit Up. Draw our card. Murder that Puzzle Maker. We drew a Kami's Flare as well, which I do not mind. We have a 5/5 Vision of the Unspeakable. This is all going nicely. I think this turn, though, we're going to play a Grafted Growth on an island, put a 1/1 counter on our Vision of the Unspeakable. Then we're going to cast a Sky Swimmer Koi. Attacks? No. So now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. They Fade into Antiquity are Visions. So all in all, that card was a juicy 3-for-1. Yeah. Opponent is attacking with their army of 1/1s. I'm going to say no blocks on that one. And if you don't have a combat trick, if you're attacking with 4 1/1s into our 2/3 and 3/3, then I'm a monkey's uncle. They have is Kappa Tech Wrecker, which will allow them to potentially kill our Vector Glider? Yes. Well, we are going to attack with our Sky Swimmer Koi. Go to damage, they take it. play another Sky Swimmer Koi. In the turn, we have a Kami's Flare, and they're getting very close to the danger zone, aka below 10 life. If they drop below 10, we have Explosive Singularity and can just win the game. They play another Searchlight Companion. I assume they're going to duplicate it again with their specialists. Yep. Could Kami's Flare something, but do we want to? We'll just take our turn. Attack with both our Koi. They're taking it. So they're at 8. I mean, we have to go for it. We're casting Explosive Singularity on them. And they're dead. Oh, man. Just like we drew it up. That's gotta feel so bad. They had this amazing engine where they were generating tons and tons of 1/1 flyers and 1/1 spirits. And they're like, I can take 6. That just puts me down to 8. And then we just kill them with a 10 mana mythic. Feels good. 3 and 2. On we go. Here we are again. Opponent goes first. We have Explosive Singularity in our opening hand. But unlike last time, we have 3 green sources, Careful Cultivation for another green source, and no green spells. So that's a big fat mulligan. This hand looks much better. We've got 3 lands, a Papercraft Decoy, a Suit Up, Behold the Unspeakable, and Careful Cultivation. I think we're going to keep this and ditch the Suit Up. Just don't think we'll have time. I think our Behold is going to do a great job getting us back into this game after the mulligan. Opponent went Forest on their first turn. We went Rugged Highlands. It's 21-20. Opponent is green-white. What do they have for us? A Saga? I would not be surprised if that were the case. Hey, it's Azusa's Mini Journeys, a Saga. Let's then play an extra land this turn. Gotta be jealous of that, don't you? I don't see them as having removal, probably, so we're going to pass to them and probably channel a Careful Cultivation. Phase 2 of Azusa's, they gain 3 life. It's 21-23. Coiling Stalker, 2/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on target creature that doesn't have a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. Go ahead and channel our Careful Cultivation for an elf, which is actually a human monk. Now we've got 4 mana available, so we can play a Papercraft Decoy and hold up a Kami's Flare. Their Azusa's turns into Likeness of the Seeker, 3/3. When it becomes blocked, untap up to 3 lands you control. We're probably just going to Kami's Flare it, to be honest. They play Go Shintai of Boundless Vigor. At the beginning of their end step, they may pay 1. When they do, you put a 1/1 counter on target shrine for each shrine you control. Man, the opponent is going off. Oh, shoot. I should have Kami's Flared it before their end step. That was my mistake. Are they going to go for it? They're targeting it. Okay. Well, we got lucky there. We wasted their turn fully on accident. Now we're in a bit of a pickle, though, because although we have 5 mana, we only have 1 blue source, so we can't Behold yet. So we're going to have to settle for a Sky Swimmer Koi instead. Find card. And then we'll pass to them. Ooh, the third color appears, a swamp. Let's see if that unlocks any extra plays for our opponent. Nope. Instead, they double spell, casting a Golden Tail Disciple, 2/3 lifelinker, and a Fang of Shigeki, 1/1 Death Toucher. Good turn. We're going to lead off with a Modern Age, which we just drew. Wonderful. And we still have not found an island. So we're just going to discard the land we drew. And still no attacks. You really need a blue source. We really want to cast this Behold. I mean, of course we do. It's all this deck wants to do is cast Behold the Unspeakables. Didn't get it, but we get to draw an extra card and get to discard a card. We drew Guardians of Oboro and an Explosive Singularity. Are we winning the game with Explosive Singularity this game? It could go late. Here's the issue. We have to discard a card. We can't cast Behold this turn, but we absolutely can't throw it away. We can't cast Explosive now or anywhere in the near future. But it could be our best bet at winning the game? We're getting rid of these Guardians. Much as I hate that. It's awful. It's awful. We're just passing the turn with nothing to do. I wish we could cast that Guardians. A 3/4 defender would be really nice in this situation. Ugh. Our opponent has a relevant spell, Tales of Master Shishiro. So they're going to get a 1/1 counter, which if I were them, I'd put on Golden Tail Disciple. No, they put it on Likeness of the Seeker, making it a 4/4. We could block and kill it. Yeah, we're going to block and kill it with our Sky Swimmer and Papercraft. They get to kill our creatures, but we'll get to pay the 2 mana to draw a card off of Papercraft Decoy, dying. So ultimately it's a 2 for 2. Drew another Behold the Unspeakable. And we still haven't drawn an island. We drew a Suit Up as our next one. I like Suit Up, and it will probably help us out here, drawing a card. But man, being shy of blue mana here is really killing us. It's like 3 turns in a row where we could have cast a Behold. They cast Repel the Vial, killing our Vector Glider. That's why Sagas are so good. We got to loot twice, and then they used a removal spell on the creature that it gave us. Tales of Master Shishiro gets to put another 1/1 counter on something. They put it on Coiling Stalker. Let them go to attackers. We're going to eat their Golden Tail Disciple by suiting up our Human Monk. It's now 18 to 25. So off the suit up we drew a forest and we drew another forest. Their Tales of Master Sashiro transforms into Sashiro's Living Legacy, 5/5 Vigilance Haste. We're going to take an absolute massive amount of damage here. 10 damage. We could block 5 of it with our Monk, which we're going to do. So now it's 13 to 25. Drew a Kami's Flare. I say as if that's really nice, but what this means is we are going to be able to Kami's Flare, kill their Fang of Shigeki, and then take 9 damage going to 4. Still didn't draw a blue source. We drew a Sky Swimmer Koi, which we will play. Which means we're going to have to chump block their 6/6 and take 3 going to 1. And that assumes they do nothing else. Okay. All is proceeding as I have foreseen. It's 1 to 25. We got this. They played another Coiling Stalker. So now there's nothing we could draw. And we drew a mountain. So that is the end of our run. Alright. So at the end of the day, we went up 3-3. This was by far the most fun deck that I have drafted in this format. 3-color big red spells, ramping into them, playing triple copy of Behold the Unspeakable. Multiple games we got to kill people with Invoke Calamity or Explosive Singularity. I mean, can't complain much about that. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you had a good time. I had a fantastic time. This format has been a lot more fun, and not just because I've been winning more, although that doesn't hurt. Until next time, I've been Kenny. This has been MTG ASMR on Red Mage Blue Mage.